Number 4. The Voynich Manuscript. The Voynich Manuscript is probably the most famous unsolved code of all time. It's a book written in a script that nobody can decipher. Written sometime between 1404 and 1436, it was named after the bookseller Wilfrid Voynich, who purchased it in 1912. He had no idea that what he had just bought was one of history's greatest mysteries. Written in an unknown language on pages made from the skin of young girls, because that was totally normal back then, the book contains over 200 pages of indecipherable text. What makes this book so strange is that it seems to have been created using actual plants. That's right. Each page of the book is made of a different herb or flower, which causes the ink to react differently and even change color depending on where it's written. And if that wasn't bizarre enough, the book also contains diagrams of astronomical charts, biological illustrations, and what appear to be instructions on how to create the perfect potion. Whatever this book is, it certainly isn't your run-of-the-mill fairy tale. Experts believe it may be a form of medieval magic, and there are rumors that certain pages can bring you wealth, love, or even immortality. Or maybe they just do what they say and contain instructions on how to make a really good pizza. Number 3. The Cryptograph. In 1894, a young man by the name of Edward Prevost visited the British Museum with his friend, artist and writer John Henry Dickey, to whom he showed a small box containing several pieces of metal. These pieces were actually the key to a cipher Prevost believed would revolutionize cryptography forever. He called it the cryptograph. But unfortunately, upon showing it to the museum curator, Prevost's world came crashing down when he realized that the man staring back at him had already solved his incredible invention. You see, the cryptograph was actually a series of metal plates engraved with the alphabet. When you wanted to encrypt a message, you would place a plate over the page and write the letter that corresponded to the symbol engraved onto the plate. After writing your message, you would remove the plate and find that your letters had been replaced with unbreakable secret code. But unfortunately for Prevost, the curator of the British Museum had already cracked his code and realized that each symbol was simply the letter that appeared directly opposite it in the alphabet. So if you wanted to encrypt the letter A, you would use the Z plate, and if you wanted to encrypt B, you would use the Y plate, and so on. Needless to say, this was a very basic code, and Prevost ended up looking like an idiot in front of the entire museum. Number 2. The Beale Ciphers. In 1820, an American dry goods merchant by the name of Thomas J. Beale handed over 3 separate ciphers to his friend Robert Morris, supposedly containing the location of a buried treasure worth $40 million in today's money. He told Morris that if he could decipher the codes, he would get 10% of the treasure. But unfortunately, the only thing Morris got to crack was the first cipher. Number 1, the Zodiac Killer. Between 1968 and 1969, Northern California was terrorized by a serial killer who became known as the Zodiac. He earned his name after sending cryptic messages to the police and press, signed off with the symbol of the Zodiac. To this day, the identity of the Zodiac Killer remains a mystery, and neither the police nor any amateur sleuths have managed to decipher his strange code. That is except for one guy who came remarkably close. In 2021, a man known only as David Orancha sent a letter to the police claiming to have cracked the Zodiac code. He believed that the killer's symbol didn't represent the astrological sign of the zodiac, but instead stood for the letters Z, E, and A, standing for Zodiac, Eliminator, and Agent. While this might seem like a bit of a stretch, it was actually the closest anyone had come to cracking the case. Unfortunately for David, his efforts were in vain because he died of cancer shortly after sending his letter. And now the police have no idea if he was onto something or if his solution was just another dead end. Thanks for watching. If you want to see another video just like this one, then check out the link in the description. And thanks again for watching.